Level 1. Jahannam. Jahannam is the general level of hell, prepared for sinners who believed but committed grave sins without repentance. The first man landed on scorching black sand. Flames rose in perfect columns like date palms made of fire. He screamed, "I only took a little interest on loans. Everyone does it." A voice answered from the blaze itself. "Everyone who enters here once said, 'Everyone does it.'" He was given a drink of boiling pus and told this was only the reception hall. Level 2. Laza. Laza burns intensely and pulls back those who turned away from truth and were arrogant with their wealth. The second soul, a hoarder who stepped over beggars to count gold, fell into a pit that grew wider the more he tried to clutch his wealth. Every coin he grabbed turned into a red-hot iron disc that branded his palms. The deeper he fell, the more coins rained down, an endless avalanche of the wealth he had loved more than mercy. He finally screamed the question every miser eventually asks too late: "How much is enough?" The abyss whispered back, "Never." Level 3. Hutama. Hutama is a crushing fire that breaks hearts, meant for those who slandered and mocked others. Here the third, a woman who loved to mock the modest, found herself in a place where the fire had personality. Every flame wore her own face from the moments she had laughed at hijab, at prayer, at old men with miswak. Each mocking version of herself now burned her with the exact words she once used. She begged for silence. The flames only laughed louder, using her own voice. Level 4. Sa'ir. Sa'ir is a blazing fire for those who rejected guidance and followed evil knowingly. The fourth soul had been proud of his sharp tongue. In Sa'ir, he discovered that every cruel word he ever spoke had grown into a living serpent of flame. The snakes knew his secrets, his lies, his backbiting, his slander, and they told him in great detail while they ate. He tried to apologize to them. They answered, "We are your own words. You never apologized to the people. Why should we forgive you?" Level 5. Sakar. Sakar leaves nothing untouched for those who ignored prayer and denied accountability. The fifth, who never prayed because God knows what's in my heart, discovered that Allah indeed knew exactly what was in his heart and had recorded every lazy excuse in letters of fire across his own skin. Whenever he tried to cover one word, another sentence burned deeper in its place. "Read your book," the keeper said. "You are sufficient today as accountant against yourself." Level 6. Jahim. Jahim is a raging fire for those who disbelieved and lived in constant rebellion. The sixth soul had broken family ties so often that his relatives had eventually stopped counting the wounds. In Jahim, he was tied with ropes of fire to every person he had cut off. Every time one of them moved in pain, the ropes burned him twice as much. He understood then. Cutting family ties is not separation. It is chaining yourself to their suffering forever. Level 7. Hawiyah. Hawiyah is the deepest level, a bottomless abyss for the worst of the worst. The last soul, a hypocrite who prayed in front of people and sinned behind their backs, reached the lowest place. There was no fire here, only freezing darkness so complete that even the concept of warmth had been erased. He could hear the screams of the upper levels, but no one could hear him. He called upon Allah with the same beautiful voice he once used in Taraweeh. A single sentence returned through the dark. "You called upon me only when you wanted to be seen. Now be seen by no one forever." And so the seven continued falling. Not because the gates were closing, but because they had spent their entire lives running toward them while calling it living normally. Some say on the day of judgment, when the last gate is shown to humanity, people will be most shocked not by the size of the fire, but by how perfectly each level matches the exact shape of the life they chose. May Allah protect us from every gate and from every excuse that leads toward them.